Evening, everyone. It's 5:21, and this is your closing comment for Thursday, the 19th. Excuse me. It was an interesting day because the futures were up most of the night and early, but and seemed pretty unaffected by the claims numbers. The initial claims were up 42,000 to 742,000. I reported that this morning. And continuing, we're down from 6.8 million to 6.372. We also had some earnings, but let me get back to the Dow. The Dow actually opened unchanged and by about 9:35 had already made a low at down 210, and in 15 minutes managed to be all the way back up at unchanged. And it sank again to a higher low and managed to break back to the upside around 245 and finished the day up 44.81. Only 0.15%, but up nonetheless. The NASDAQ was a little stronger the entire time, and it finished up 103.11, 8.7% or 0.87% up, and the volume was also up about 20% on the NASDAQ. Advanced declines in both were about 2 to 1. So pretty strong. In point of fact, one of the reasons was, we had news on NVIDIA last night. I mentioned that before. Excuse me. And this morning, the stock actually had been as low as 518 last night in late trading. But when it opened this morning, it could get no lower than 524 and in fact turned up and managed to close up on the day, only 46 cents, but nonetheless $19 off the low. Looking pretty decent, and that dragged all of the semis up. We also had earnings from Macy's, which were a beat top and bottom, not a profit, just a beat. And the stock early was trading at 806, down 93 cents on the news, and also turned around, managed to get to 924. That's a pretty decent move. That's a 14% move from 8 to 9.25, and it closed at 918, up 19 cents. We also had earnings today at the close on Workday, another one of the stay-at-homes. It actually beat both top and bottom, and had closed at 230.80, up 719, and then after the earnings came, it traded as high as 245.40 and closed, or is still trading, but the last is 240, up 1632. Ross Stores beat both top and bottom, and but they withheld any guidance for next quarter. And on a month-to-month basis, the comps were down about 3%. The stock had closed at 110.20, down $1.10, and then traded in a range of 106 on the low, 115 on the high, and last trade is 113.15, and that's up $1.85. BJ's Wholesale, beat top and bottom, and it had a range of $39.95 to $44.69, and last on it, well, at the close, it was $44.55, up $1.55. After the earnings, it actually sank really a very small amount, $44.15, down 40 cents. CRM was also a star today, closing $265.65, up 8.49, or 3.3%. I'm just going to go over really quickly the digital stress tests stock, and I will memorialize this in tonight's daily note. But here's where we are. I recommended three of them: Zoom, Teladoc, and DocuSign. When I recommended them, Zoom was 390, and today closed 414. And on top of that, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It was 366. So today it was back up in that 414 area. So it was a really nice profit. And if you would have written the options against it, you would have taken in an additional $19. Teladocs was 171.37. It closed today 190 and a half, up $8.66. So you would have had about a $19 profit there also. And if you'd written the calls, another $6 a share. DocuSign, which was 194, today is 220. And writing the options against that one, you also would have taken in $6. So you would have taken in roughly $31 on the three of them. And the profits would have been about $40 on Zoom, about $20 or $19 on Teladoc, and about $26 on DocuSign. So that worked out pretty well. All right, everyone. Let's see. The chart on the screen is silver, and I'm a little concerned about it, although I guess I could draw a trend line this way and it wouldn't look quite as bad. My concern is that we look like we might be breaking to the downside. We had the original trend line here, and we did break and followed up here. We got stuck in this gap down, but today it was going sideways and it closed down on the day, but right on that trend line again. That one is a little bit more concerning versus the gold, which was also down today, but had made a lower low right here, testing this low and this 4 days and the original breakout, and then it rallied back up. And even though it was down $12.40, it was also only $11 from the high, and just 11 and a half also there. So, kind of mid-range, but certainly it actually looks like it's up about 2/3 of the way on it. So there you have it. The oil was all over the place from down to up. And of course, what would a closing comment be without a look at Bitcoin, which just continues to astonish everyone with its strength. This was an inside day today, which is generally considered to be, not really giving any direction and kind of inconsequential. But it did close up, and it closed up 400. So this is a new high close versus the 3 years ago weekly, where we had a high of 20,650. So it looks like it's trying there, but I would be very surprised if we didn't have a little bit of a pullback, into this 16.9, 16.5 area, or maybe another running correction where it spends 2 weeks just edging up like it did there. But I kind of think it would probably be one of these kind of things where we just test, some support and then move higher. All right, everyone, I'll see you first thing in the morning. Have a good evening, and don't forget to subscribe.